infrastructure, when you reach candidly ask the nation that can we afford and we cannot afford it. If we really want to do good for the country, really want good for to the people of this great country, then we may not have election after election every year. Let me tell you one thing, that in 1951, we had simultaneous election, where we were having one election every 5 years, whether you need to select MLAs, whether you need to select MPs. But after 1951, we had 1956, and then till 1967. Barring Andhra Pradesh in 1956, every election happened simultaneously. But the Congress party, you all know the Congress party, who is responsible for breaking this trend, because they use Article 356. They invoked Article 356 to dissolve the elected government. The political parties with different kind of mandate, they had to have a coalition government. And one coalition partner was not happy with another, and it happened that we had seen that the government collapsed and the re-election took place. As a result, the synchronized election, what used to happen until 1996 and 67, it collapsed completely, and we used to have elections every now and then. The Honorable Prime Minister, when he asked, can we afford? Certainly we can't, and what is the solution? And he found a very profound solution. But unfortunately today it doesn't happen, and that's why it is important that all of you, the young boys, must and poison should speak about it, that there should be one election in a year, in 5 years, not every year, not every 3 months, not every 6 months. And every election should take place simultaneously, and everything should be synchronized. And that's why the Honorable Prime Minister has suggested it. And he formed a committee, the government formed a committee under the leadership of the former President Kovind. Then there are many other senior leaders, including Home Minister, are member of that committee. There are 7 member committee to basically work on it, how it can be implemented in there. And they have submitted their report, and that report has been approved by the cabinet of the government, and subsequently it has been placed as a bill to the parliament, and which has been referred to the Joint Parliamentary Committee, which is examining, and then they will come up with various solutions, which eventually become a legislation for the country. But why it is good for the one nation, one election? Let me walk you through some of the benefits which we have. First of all, cost. How much expenditure we have when we organize elections around here? 5 years, many elections. Just give you one simple example. In 1951, the cost of the simultaneous election was 11 crore, barely 11 crore. But in 2014, it was only general election has cost us this next year 30,000 crore. In 2019, it is 55,000 crore. Could be 1 lakh crore in 2024. Because Election Commission has to mobilize resources, Election Commission has to mobilize booth level people, Election Commission has to mobilize security forces, Election Commission has to mobilize voting machine. Lot of work needs to be done, and a lot of expenditure is incurred by the government to organize general election. Then you have to assembly election, state level election. Besides that, that's the public money which is being spent. Besides that, every individual, every party, every candidate does spend, and even candidate who does not get the ticket, they also keep spending money because in anticipation they will get it. So round the year money is being spent, and it is unproductive. It is absolutely unproductive because it doesn't do any good to you. It doesn't do any good to the people of this country. It doesn't do any good to the young mind of this country, or the people who can shape the destiny of this nation. It is not good for them, it doesn't do any good to them. And that is why cost is too steep to organize election after election. Let me give you one statistic which will be very important for you to understand. Your mind, you need to understand that when you organize synchronized election, the COVID committee and many economists have also come up with this suggestion that, or their conclusion that we can say 1.5 lakh, 1.5% of GDP. So this will add to 1.5% of GDP incrementally. As it is, India is among the largest economies, the fastest growing economy. Just think, our growth rate is around 7%, if we add 1.5%. How it will look like? It will be unmatchable. No country in the world can match us. Incrementally, we are providing 20% of the incremental global GDP. Now with this 1.5% additional GDP growth, where will we? It will create a lot of opportunities for you. It will have enough resources in the government to make better schools, better hospitals, better world-class educational institutions, and many more things, which is good to people, which is better for the people of this country. But unfortunately, it doesn't happen. So it is important for all of us to understand that how much we are losing as a nation. We cannot afford this loss. How much we are losing as a nation is something for you to understand that 1.5% GDP potential GDP we are losing every year after year. And that can be addressed if we have synchronized one election every 5 years, one visit to ballot box, and that's it. You have chosen your representative which can work for 5 years, and that's it. And everything what needs to be delivered, he will be able to deliver. He need not worry about this. The next election, he need not worry about any other concern he will have, but he will primarily focusing on the governance model, and that is why it is important to understand the cost, and the second is governance. Governance gets compromised completely, because if you have election after election, what you tend to do, you come up with something, a very short-term idea, which will benefit the party, not the people. Every political party, I am saying very candidly, every political party, when they go into election, they want to win the election. And when they want to win the election, their primary focus is election, not you, not me, not him himself. His primary focus is to win the election for the party. And when your focus that gets diverted towards election, not the governance, it shows that how important thing we are losing, because you are just coming up with the short-term solution, short-term suggestion, short-term ideas, which will benefit the party but not the nation, not the people. And I'll give you one more example. Whenever election takes place here in every year, around the year, then you all the time you have model code of conduct, where neither the government come up with any welfare scheme, neither the government can introduce any other measures for the betterment of the society. Government cannot function because it's working. Government cannot function because every political party has to follow the model code of conduct which is being imposed by the Election Commission. And just guess, in last 5 years, how many days of model code of conduct we had in India? We had 800 days. 800 days out of 5 years. Meaning more than 2 years, there was a model code of conduct where nothing can be done for you. As a citizen, we are suffering because there is a model code of conduct. Police forces are being deployed somewhere else. Teachers are, instead of teaching the children, they are being deployed in election booths. They are manning booths instead of being in the classroom and teaching the student. That is what we suffer. That as a nation, what we are suffering because of the elections taking place around the year and all the time. If we have synchronized election, teachers can focus on teaching, government can focus on governance model, police forces will focus on the safety and security of the citizen, and government will focus on bringing new legislation to ensure that our country is improving, our people are growing, and they are benefiting with the government. Unfortunately, it is getting compromised, the governance is getting compromised. Third thing, which is very important, that our voters get confused. Why they get confused? Because they feel that every year, every now and then, there is election. Who to choose doesn't become really their priority. They get confused that next year in this election, this guy has gone to this party, the other guy has gone to this party. I mean, really they are not overly concerned about who is fighting election, because they know that they are not going to be very beneficial. But if you have one election in 5 years, you will really put a lot of efforts. You will prioritize this election. You will You will celebrate like a festival. You will choose the best. What is best for the people, for the country, for the society, for the constituency. And you will never compromise if there is one election in a year. Be it MLA or be it a member of parliament or be it a municipal member. Everyone you will very carefully select, because you know that they are the one who will govern and they are the one who will shape the destiny of our nation. And if you compromise that, it will get your destiny will get compromised. So you be very particular to choose those individuals who will be your representative as a member of parliament or a member of legislative assembly. But what happened? Right now, you don't focus. You really don't focus whether to select or not select who is fighting election, because every now and then there is an election and your focus is not tuned to really monitor election and select the right candidate. Because you know that somebody else will be there and nothing, no. People is very standard sentence in Hindi. Koi bhi aayega, waise hi karega. We are fortunate that we have a Prime Minister who really is a visionary, who really thinks how India can be equated with the best in the world, who really think how India can become self-reliant, who always think how India can, all the energy of the young talents can be nurtured and used for productive purposes. And this is the Prime Minister's vision, and that is why he has come with the solution that one nation, one election should become reality. Of course, it's not a novelty idea of the Prime Minister or for all of us. It's something, as I said earlier, that it was in place from 1951 to 1967. But today, it demands. The situation demands. And people should demand, you should demand that there should be, all the elections should be synchronized. There should be only one election in 5 years. And that should be celebrated as a festival of democracy. If you really want to have a democracy, vibrant democracy, then there should be only one election in 5 years. Take the example, global example. Be it the United States, be it UK, or be it any other developed country. There's only one election in 4 years or 6 or 5 years. But there is only one election which every single individual, very focused, they keep debating about this election because they want to choose the best. Best on the street, best on what available among this number of individuals who fight in the election, so that they can serve you better. And I think it's important for all of us to understand what is important. It is important for us to have a synchronized election. I'm sure that many political parties will come up with different ideas and different criticism. They will be very critical about it, and they are indeed critical about it. Because they are critical because they know that one election they feel that the cooperative federalism will be compromised. When somebody says about it, you must say it can never be compromised. Rather, it will get strengthened. Cooperative federalism will get strengthened because one election and you choose the best person on the street. And he has the ability to serve for 5 years, and there is no infighting. There is 5 years. The governance model can be put in place such that all the development work can happen, all the welfare schemes can be introduced, and all the policy measures which can be initiated to safeguard the nation and safeguard the interests of the people of this great country. So all the people who say that cooperative federalism will be compromised, they are actually selfish people. They do not want the country to grow. They do not want the young people's destiny to be made more attractive. They want to compromise with everything but their own interests. That is why it is important to understand there is nothing of that will happen. No cooperative, it will not impact the cooperative federalism, rather it will strengthen it. You will also keep hearing about it, that people will say, or all the opposition parties will say, the national party will be the biggest beneficiary. I mean, I respect their concern. I really respect their concern. But that's not the reality. I mean, take the example, do a backtesting and take the example of 1951, 1956, and so is 1967, where regional parties have an election. National parties have elections too. but regional parties in the state have an election. So we need to understand, democracy is for public, not for the political parties. Democracy is for public. It is for you, it is for me, it is for the rest of the people, but not for any political party. It is important for us to understand that we as a citizen have to prioritize one nation, one election, because it is only impacting political, it may impact political parties or political parties who really is good, who produce good leaders will never be impacted. People will choose him. Because at the end of the day, as I said, people will very carefully choose those people, and they will be given the opportunity to serve, because they know that these people are the good ones who can do good for the people. So, while I can speak for us together, but my colleague Anthony G will also speak on the same subject. But in a very brief, I will say, the time has come for all of us. Not for me, not for you, not for, but as individuals, but collectively, time has come for all of us to think on this line, that we need to have a very synchronized election. We need to shape our career, which we need to shape our destiny of our country. And that can happen only if there is a leader who serves you, a leader who works for the democracy and not for the party, a leader who works not for the party but being a patriot. We need patriots. We not only need party people, we need patriots. And patriots will always focus on country, citizens, interests of the country, and will never compromise with the interests of the country. So as a citizen, as a young citizen, I would really want you to understand the benefits of one nation, one election. Whenever you get the opportunity to speak about it, put up your hand and speak about it. That why it is important, how it will shape up there, how it will benefit the country, and why the Honorable Prime Minister is advocating it. And when somebody says that it is a very complex idea, it cannot be implemented, you remind them. One nation policy, it's not the first time we have introduced. We have introduced GST. It was a very complex idea, GST, and we have been able to deliver it. Today, everybody, the world is acknowledging about GST reforms, India, what it has delivered, and how GST has delivered in terms of one unified tax system in the country, indirect tax system, and how it has grown, number of the tax net has gone up, and the collection has grown. So we have been able to deliver GST. Likewise, we have delivered Aadhaar. So if somebody questions the ability of the nation, you must say Aadhaar has been implemented. Very complex job. Today, because of Aadhaar, all the people who are unbanked, they are now being banked. And that is a benefit they have got as a citizen. Likewise, one nation, one ration card. I mean, you have seen that one nation, one ration card. Many laborers from different parts of the country were suffering, struggling, because their ration card was not valid in other states where they are working. It is the thoughtful approach of the Honorable Prime Minister that he come up with this idea of one nation, one ration card. And today, every laborer from different parts of the country can go anywhere and they can draw ration from any shop, because it is permitted now as per the law. Likewise, for a student, one nation, one subscription, where you are getting a lot of help for research and other academic purposes. That is also being implemented by the Honorable Prime Minister. So why can't, if all these things can be done, why can't one nation, one election can be implemented? Of course it can be implemented. It is only the intent is required. Intent can happen when you push it. As an individual, as a young mind, as a future of this nation, you have to speak about it. Get up, speak up whenever you get the opportunity. Do say, one nation, one election is a must for our future, for the future of next generation. And when today we are talking about, today you will contribute about it. But the next generation after generation will definitely talk about it. There was a generation who had the courage, had the intent to deliver something which has really helped to shape up our destiny of our country. And they will always very profoundly remember this generation who you have the opportunity to deliver it. You must speak about it and must deliver it. I will stop here. I can go on and on because I have spoken only very few things. There are many things which can be spoken about the advantages of one nation, one election. But I will let my colleague, who is coordinating the entire efforts on behalf of the party, Mr. Anil Antony, to speak further about it. Thank you very much.
మీకు అందరికి అర్థమైంది కదా? మాట్లాడకుండా ఉండాలి. లేడీస్ దగ్గరే చాలా ఎక్కువ నాయిస్ వస్తుంది. జెంట్స్ అసలు బాగా వింటున్నారు. సరే హలో, ఇప్పుడు వినపడుతుందా? రీసౌండ్ వస్తుందా? ఓకే, బయట రీసౌండ్ వస్తుందంటే అప్పుడు చేయండి. ఇదా? ఓకే. హలో, అది రాలేదు మీడియాకి. ఓకే, ఇప్పుడు వినపడుతుందా? రీసౌండ్ వస్తుందా? కానీ గర్ల్స్ మీరు కొంచెం మాట్లాడకుండా ఉండాలి. బాయ్స్ ఎవరు మాట్లాడలేదు. మాట్లాడకుండా ఉండండి. జై శ్రీరామ్. ఇప్పుడు నెక్స్ట్ కరణ్ గారు మాట్లాడతారా? నెక్స్ట్ అవర్ గెస్ట్ మిస్టర్ కరణ్ గారు మాట్లాడతారు ఇప్పుడు.
Thank you, ma'am. Namaste, Sada Vatsale, Matrubhume. Bharat Mata ki! That's the strength of our youth. That is the strength of our India. That is the strength of 140 plus crore population of India. You are the responsible personnel who is supposed to take this country to Amrit Kal, that is 2047. I will tell you later, but how connected all these things are. Respected Honorable Chief Guest, Sri Ramchandra Rao Garu, BJP State President, former MLC, and Bar Council Member of India. I also pay respect to all my distinguished guests on the dais. On the dais, and the senior colleagues who gave me this opportunity, including my district presidents, Sauda Ramesh, and all the leaders. I am thankful to you all. అంబేద్కర్ గారు ఒక శబ్దం చెప్పిండ్రు, మనం హిందీ వదిలేద్దాం. ఐ కెన్ స్పీక్ యాజ్ ఎ సోల్జర్. మై ఇంట్రడక్షన్ ఈజ్ కల్నల్ భిక్షపతి, సర్వ్డ్ ఫర్ అవర్ కంట్రీ ఆల్మోస్ట్ 22 years. Kargil War 2 till abrogation of Article 370. And I also served, I hope you all students pay my respect to me, and I also served our country during COVID and saved almost 25,000 plus cases. That is what my credentials. And I studied my graduation from the Arts College. I honor and pleased and inspired, and honestly I feel very happy to stand in front of you all at my native place. My dear students and the seniors and the intellectuals, better we talk on our own soil in English, our own language, that is Telugu. నేను ప్రొఫెసర్ని, సో నేను రోజు బ్లాక్ బోర్డ్ తీసుకొని పిల్లలకు పాఠాలు చెప్తుంటా. సో అదేవిధంగా మీరు ఒక 5-10 minutes ఎక్కువ నేను మిమ్మల్ని బాధ పెట్టండి, వినాలి ప్లీజ్. మీకు ఎగ్జామ్లో ఇది లాంగ్ క్వశ్చన్ రాబోతున్నది. ఇది నేను సైనికుని కదా, సైనికుడిలానే కొన్ని విషయాలు చెప్పాల్సి వస్తుంది, తప్పదు. ఇది మనకు 303 రైఫిల్ సిచ్యువేషన్ జమానా కాదు, ఇది బ్రహ్మోస్ జమానా. ఏంటిది? బ్రహ్మోస్. తెలుసు కదా, అందరికీ తెలవాలి బ్రహ్మోస్. ఇది ఆపరేషన్ సింధూర్ జమానా. ఏంటిది? ఎస్, ఆపరేషన్ సింధూర్ అంటే పాకిస్తాన్కు భయభ్రాంతులు కలిగించేటువంటి జమానా. మరి హౌ ఐ దిస్ కనెక్టెడ్? सी माय डियर स्टूडेंट्स, यदि देश एक है तो इलेक्शन अलग अलग कैसे हो सकता है? वन नेशन वन इलेक्शन. దేశం ఒకటే, ఓటు ఒకటే, ఓటు ఒకేసారి. అసలు ఇది ఏంది? అసలు ఇది లాంగ్ క్వశ్చన్. లెట్ us start our speech. Please students, girls particularly, you are talking. See, ఇది అసలు ఏంది కాన్సెప్ట్ అంటే, ఒక ఓటు వేసే అతను ఎవరైతే ఉంటారో అతను ఎలక్షన్ బూత్లోకి వెళ్ళినప్పుడు ఆయన ఒకేసారి ఎంపీకి ఓటేయాలి, ఎమ్మెల్యేకి ఓటేయాలి. అవసరమైతే మన హానరబుల్ ప్రైమ్ మినిస్టర్ గారు చెప్పేది ఏంటంటే పంచాయతీ ఎలక్షన్స్లో కూడా కలిపే అవకాశం ఉంది, ప్లస్ మైనస్. ఇది అర్థమైంది కదా? ఇది వన్ నేషన్ వన్ ఎలక్షన్ అంటే అర్థం. మరి ఇది ఒకటే రోజు అవుతుందా? ఇది కొన్ని దేశాల్లో ఒకటే రోజు అయినప్పటికీ మన దేశంలో మన రికమెండేషన్స్ ఏముందంటే వేరియస్ స్టేజెస్లో. అయితే ఆపోజిషన్ వాళ్ళు తర్వాత దీని గురించి నాలెడ్జ్ లేని వాళ్ళు ఏం చెప్తున్నారంటే ఒకటే రోజు ఎలక్షన్స్ వేస్తారు, అది ప్రిమాచ్యూర్ స్టేట్మెంట్స్ ఇవి. సో మై డియర్ స్టూడెంట్స్, ఇక్కడ డెఫినేషన్ తెలవాలి మనకి. ఒకటే రోజు కాకుండా వేరియస్ స్టేజెస్లో, కానీ పోయినప్పుడు ఎవరైతే ఓటు వేస్తారో అతను మాత్రం ఎంపీకి, ఎమ్మెల్యేకి, మిగతా వాళ్ళకి కూడా ఒకే రోజు వేస్తారు అనేది బేసిక్ కాన్సెప్ట్. మరి ఈ కాన్సెప్ట్ ఏమైనా కొత్తగా మన ఇండియాలో మోడీ గారు ఏమైనా పుట్టిస్తున్నారా? మోడీ గారికి ఏమైనా లాభం ఉందా? మోడీ గారు పుట్టించింది కాదు ఇది. మనకు ఫస్ట్ ఎలక్షన్ జరిగినప్పుడు 52లో, 57లో, 62లో, 67లో కూడా ఇది జరిగింది. సెకండ్ పాయింట్ అర్థమైంది కదా, ఇది కొత్తది కాదు. అయితే 67 తర్వాత అంటే ఆల్మోస్ట్ 71 తర్వాత ఈ సిస్టమ్ అనేది పోయింది. పోయి ఏం జరుగుతుందంటే మనకు లోక్సభ ఎలక్షన్స్, ఎంపీ ఎలక్షన్స్, స్టేట్ ఎలక్షన్స్ వేరియస్ ఫేజెస్లో జరుగుతున్నాయి. ఇది మనకు పెద్ద ప్రాబ్లం. మరి దీనివల్ల సో ఇది మన ఫార్మర్ స్పీకర్ చెప్పినట్టు ఏదైతే ఉందో వేరే దేశాలలో కూడా ఉంది. ఈ దేశం ఒకటే కాకుండా అదొకటి. ఇప్పుడు మనకు కావాల్సింది ఏంటంటే ఒకటేసారి వేయాలంటే మరి ఎవరు చెప్పాలి? ఇది ఎవరైతే ఒకరు ఒప్పుకోవాలి కదా. నువ్వు నేను చెప్తా ఏది కాదు. ఇక్కడ చెప్పాలంటే అసలు ఎలక్షన్ కమిషనే అలసిపోయింది. ఈ విధంగా ఎలక్షన్ జరిగితే ఈ దేశ అమృతకాల్ 2047 వరకు అభివృద్ధి చెందిన దేశం కావడం కష్టం. కనుక ఎలక్షన్ కమిషన్ కావచ్చు, లా కమిషన్ కావచ్చు, నీతి ఆయోగ్ కావచ్చు, కొన్ని ఏవైతే ఆర్గనైజేషన్స్ ఉన్నాయో రెస్పాన్సిబిలిటీ ఏదైతే ఉందో వాళ్ళకి వాళ్ళు రికమెండ్ చేసింది ఇది. సో ఇది బీజేపీ ఈరోజు చెప్పింది కాదు, ఏదో రాబోయే ఎలక్షన్లో బీజేపీ గెలవడానికి కొరకు చెప్పింది కాదు. ఇది మోదీ గారు కావచ్చు, అంతకన్నా ముందు వాజ్పేయి గారు కావచ్చు, మనకు అంతకన్నా ముందు అద్వానీ గారు కావచ్చు, వీళ్ళందరూ నిస్వార్థంగా దేశం అభివృద్ధి కొరకు వాళ్ళు ఎప్పుడో రికమెండ్ చేసేది. ఇది రెండో క్వశ్చన్. డెఫినేషన్ అర్థమైపోయింది, ఎవరు దీనికి పర్మిషన్ ఎలా అర్థమైపోయింది. ఇప్పుడు చూడండి మరి ఏంది సమస్య, ఎక్కడ సమస్య, దీనివల్ల వచ్చే లాభాలు ఏంది, నష్టాలు ఏంది, ఇది క్వశ్చన్. అర్థమైంది కదా, లాభాలు ఏంది, నష్టాలు ఏంది. ఇప్పుడు సార్ చెప్పినట్టు మనకు చూడండి, ఇప్పుడు ఇంతమంది ఎలక్షన్స్ కావాలంటే ఓకే, ఇంత ఎలక్షన్స్ కావాలంటే మనకు డబ్బు ఖర్చు అవుతుంది. రెండోది మనకి ఏమంటారంటే వాళ్ళకు మోడల్ కోడ్ ఆఫ్ ఒకటి ఎలక్షన్ కోడ్ అనేది ఒకటి వచ్చి, ఆ ఎలక్షన్ కోడ్ అనేది ఒక పెద్ద సమస్య, కాంప్లెక్సిటీ. అది ఎలక్షన్స్ ఎప్పుడైతే డిక్లేర్ చేస్తారో ఎటువంటి పాలసీ, దాన్ని ఏమంటే పాలసీ పెరాలిసిస్ అంటారు, ఎటువంటి పాలసీ ముందుకు పోనివ్వరు. సో ఎందుకని ఈ విధంగా చెప్పుకుంటూ వస్తే దానికి డబ్బు ఎక్కువ ఖర్చు అవుతుంది అండ్ పాలసీలు కరెక్ట్ కావు. అంటే ఒకసారి ఎలక్షన్ చేసుకొని కూర్చుంటే కనుక మన రాష్ట్రంలో కావచ్చు, దేశంలో కావచ్చు, స్వచ్ఛందంగా చక్కటి కార్యక్రమాలు చేయొచ్చు. సో దీంట్లో ఒకటి నేను మాత్రం చెప్తా. దీంట్లో ఏమంటారంటే there are several points which supposed to be talked, but only one point as a soldier I must tell you and please listen this. బోల్డ్ డెసిషన్స్ తీసుకోవాలంటే ఒక స్టెబిలిటీ ఉన్నది. ద స్టెబిలిటీ ఆఫ్ ది గవర్నమెంట్ అండ్ నేషనల్ సెక్యూరిటీ ఇట్ గోస్ ఇన్ ప్రపోర్షనేట్ వే. ఎప్పుడైతే స్టేబుల్ గవర్నమెంట్ ఉందో బోల్డ్ డెసిషన్. నేను 22 సంవత్సరాలలో చూసినటువంటి సుమారు ఒక 5 ప్రైమ్ మినిస్టర్లు మారుతుంటే నేను చూసిన, దాంట్లో భారత్ ఏ విధంగా మారుతుందో చూసిన. మై డియర్ స్టూడెంట్స్, నేను శ్రీనగర్లో పనిచేసినప్పుడు ఆర్టికల్ 370 తీసేసినప్పుడు హానరబుల్ ప్రైమ్ మినిస్టర్ గారు మేమందరం సర్ప్రైజ్ అయిపోయినాం. ఎంత రక్తపాతం అవుతుందో, ఎన్ని బుల్లెట్స్ వెళ్ళిపోతాయో, ఎంత నష్టం జరుగుతుందో. ఆయన స్టేబుల్ గవర్నమెంట్ ఉంది కనుకనే, ఆయనకు సపోర్ట్ ఉంది కనుకనే, ఆయన ఒక విజన్ తోటి ఉంది కనుకనే ఆర్టికల్ 370 చేసిన తర్వాత ఒక్క బుల్లెట్ కూడా భారత్ మాతాకి ఒక్క బుల్లెట్ కూడా వేస్ట్ కాలే, ఒక్క బుల్లెట్. సో దిస్ ఇస్ హౌ బోల్డ్ డెసిషన్స్. అంటే కాశ్మీర్ను మన లోపల కాదు అని చెప్పే సమస్య ఆయన ఒకే ఒక వర్డ్లో తీసేసాడు. ఈ విధంగా చెప్పుకుంటూ పోతుంటే మనకి ఏంటంటే దేశం యొక్క అభివృద్ధి కొరకు మనకు ఎన్నో పనులు చేయాలంటే మనకు వన్ నేషన్ వన్ ఎలక్షన్ అనేది తప్పనిసరి అవసరం. ఐ సపోర్ట్, వీ సపోర్ట్, యూ సపోర్ట్. మనకు వన్ నేషన్ వన్ ఎలక్షన్ తోటి ఎన్ని చిన్న అమెండ్మెంట్స్ కావచ్చు, అది కాన్స్టిట్యూషనల్ అమెండ్మెంట్స్ కావచ్చు, అవన్నీ జరిపోతాయి, అవన్నీ చేసుకోవచ్చు. సో మై ఒపీనియన్ అండ్ ఎస్ టైమ్ ఈజ్ కన్స్ట్రెయిన్డ్, నో డౌట్. The issues are obligations with the one nation election is very less. So we support. Please read about this and support and propagate the message all over the maximum
अभियान के साथ हम सब ने जुड़ करके चलना है, गांव कस्बों में जाना है और हर जनमानस को जागृत करना है वन नेशन वन इलेक्शन की ओर, क्योंकि ये केवल ना ही हमारी बेटरमेंट के लिए है, अपितु हमारे भविष्य की भी और एक अच्छा मौका हमें दिख रहा है। मैं एक नारा दूंगी, आप सभी उसी को दोहराएंगे। फॉर द बेटरमेंट ऑफ, फॉर द बेटर गवर्नेंस वन नेशन वन इलेक्शन, आपने ये चीज दोहरानी है। फॉर द बेटर गवर्नेंस, फॉर द बेटर गवर्नेंस, फॉर द बेटर गवर्नेंस, फॉर द बेटर गवर्नेंस। भारत माता की वंदे मातरम। साहब
Thank you very much, Kaukamji. Today our keynote speaker, Mr. Anthony, is a national co-convener for ONOE. He will address us now.
YouTube guy, Toby. Both, please. I don't want both. Because it's a YouTube channel.
मंच पर उपस्थित सभी गणमान्य व्यक्तियों, भारतीय जनता पार्टी के राष्ट्रीय प्रवक्ता, पूर्व राज्यसभा सांसद, वरिष्ठ नेता श्री सफर इस्लाम जी, former President's Award winner, distinguished teacher Snehalada ji, Lieutenant Colonel Dr. Bhikshapati ji, Sri Bandari Vijay Kumar ji, Sri Gautam ji, Sri Ram ji, Gautami ji, all the other distinguished leaders on the dais, all my dear friends from across the state of Telangana who have come here for this gathering today. Our country is right now in a trajectory that we can all say is very unprecedented in history. And a lot has happened because of various initiatives, transformative initiatives that have happened in the last 11 years. A 2 trillion economy, the 11th largest economy in 2014, in the last 11 years has transformed itself to a 4.2 trillion economy, which in the next 3 years is expected to be the 3rd largest economy in the world, a 5 trillion economy. Across sectors, our country started growing exponentially. The number of schools and number of universities doubled. The number of medical colleges doubled from 300 to 700. The number of IITs grew from 7 to 25. The number of IIMs grew from 8 to 30. And because of different schemes like Skill India, tens of millions of youth started being trained for modern age skills and how they can be connected to modern economies. All this growth transformation is possible because of the foundations that are created in our growth, and this growth is because of various transformative policies that are enacted by the government. Just some days back we saw the GST reforms called the GST 2, where again, because of the reforms, we are expecting massive influx, massive growth in our economy. We are expecting higher productivity. We are expecting higher economic growth. And just like that, another transformative policy that is now in the pipeline is the seminar we are talking about today, and that is One Nation, One Election. In One Nation, One Election, this is not a new concept. When we look at history, after independence from 1951, the first 4 election cycles from 1951 till 1967, the country had one nation, one election. Then in 1967, Mrs. Indira Gandhi became the Prime Minister. And in that 10-year period, initially a lot of governments which were not Congress governments were dismissed undemocratically by the then Congress government. Then 75 to 77, because of many reasons, there was the emergency where there were no elections. And finally, over a 10-year period, all the election cycles became unsynchronized. The Bharatiya Janata Party was created in 1980. And since then, this party has always said that we will support one nation, one election. But what I want all of you to understand.
Should I ask them to keep quiet for some time? It's distracting you. Should I? Should I?
No, do. I request all of you to please pay a little more attention. I know that this has been a long event and many of you are getting impatient to go home, but there's an important topic. And for all the student leaders here, you have a lot of role to play in taking this forward, because this is something that will help the youth community more than any other community. So, in 1980 itself, the Bharatiya Janata Party had supported One Nation, One Election as an initiative that we want to take forward. And in 1983, the Election Commission of India, when it was a Congress government itself, did suggest that it is good if we can go back to synchronized elections. But because of many reasons, it did not happen. But in 1999, again for the first time after a long time, there was a law commission that was headed by Justice Jeevan Reddy, who again suggested that one nation, one election is a good reform for the country. In 2017, there was a parliamentary standing committee, the 79th parliamentary standing committee, which again supported the idea of synchronized elections. And in the NDA's 2019 and 2024 manifesto, the government, the current union government gave a promise to the people that we will have synchronized elections. In 2023, a very high-level committee was created, which was led by a former President of India. And the committee did a lot of deliberations, discussions with almost all the sections of India's population, almost all the stakeholders, including bar associations, including different student associations, industrial associations, former High Court and Supreme Court judges. And after all that, the committee came to a conclusion that this is going to be an excellent reform for India. And a 900-page report was submitted to the Honorable President of India. This report actually says that one nation, one election can transform India across all the sectors. One of the biggest findings was, if all the elections are held simultaneously in India, it can give a GDP boost of almost 1.5 to 2%. At this moment, you are all aware that India is the fastest growing economy year by year, every single year. Our Prime Minister has created a long-term vision whereby 2047 we are expecting This is around 4.5 to 5 lakh crores at this moment. Around 50% of our current healthcare budget and 33% of our education budget. So this is the kind of boosting this can do. In the last 11 years, you have seen so much increase in capacity. Just some examples, since all of you are young people here. Right now, we are the fastest growing digital economy. In 2014, the country had around 500 registered startups. Now there are almost 1.25 lakh registered startups that employ almost 25 lakh youth. Around 1 to 2 metro systems are created every year. The number of airports have doubled from 74 to 160. So across sectors you are having this capacity building. And this will only happen if there is good budget, surplus budget. And One Nation, One Election is one of those proposals that can free up to 5 lakh crores annually, which can be used for different developmental purposes. You also know that at this moment, there are elections that happen every now and then. Last year itself there was the Lok Sabha election. 6 months before the Lok Sabha election, there were elections in Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh. Later there were elections in Delhi, Maharashtra, Haryana. Now elections are coming in Bihar. The last 30 years, every single year the country had one election. Either a state election, central election, local body election. And every year, can I get some water? Whenever there is an election, the election commission has a model code of conduct. And during the model code of conduct, it is not possible for any government to create policies that can affect the course of an election. So even when there is a state election, the central government cannot make any policies that can affect the state election. And model code of conduct right now exists for almost 5 months a year. So during this 5 months, there is a lot of policy paralysis. Again, holding elections together simultaneously can create a situation where government efficiency can increase, administrative efficiency can increase. At this moment, there are a lot of countries, including Sweden, South Africa, where all elections happen. These are all very small countries when compared to India. But one thing that is common to all these countries is there is very high voter participation. So wherever there are simultaneous elections, people tend to vote in much larger numbers. There are other factors also, just like socially, politically, economically. Simultaneous elections can also bring a lot of changes in our green transition, in our environmental policies. In 20 years back, when elections were shifted from ballot paper to EVMs, just because of that, now every election cycle almost 1.5 lakh trees are being saved. Every state election, just a state election, almost 5,000 tons of single-use plastic is used. So when we are holding all these elections together, it caused massive savings economically, politically. There are political benefits, social benefits, environmental benefits. So the government has thought of all this. And it is after all this that now the government is moving with the direction of One Nation, One Election. All of you who are here as student leaders, one request for me from my side is that all of you who are here, I don't want any of you to just look at this like a one-off event where you came here, you listened to a lot of eminent speakers and you went back home. I want all of you to ensure that you carry this message of One Nation, One Election to your local communities, your student communities, all your local schools and universities around, where you hold events just like this in all your surroundings and take the message of One Nation, One Election to all the student communities across India. The biggest beneficiaries of these kind of reforms in the long run are going to be the student community, India's current young community. At this moment, almost 20 almost 50% of our country's population is under 28, and median age is 28, and almost 60% is under 40. The Prime Minister has a vision to take our country forward, and by 2047 he aspires that our country will be a fully developed, Vikasit Bharat. In such a scenario, it will be all of you, almost 80% of you who are here, who are all, I believe, less than 25, who in the next 20 years will be the biggest beneficiaries of India's growth. When India becomes a fully developed country, India becomes a prominent pole in a multipolar world. India in the next 3-4 years will become a 5 trillion economy, which by 2027-47 is expected to be a 20 trillion economy. During that point of time, it is the young people who are sitting here will be the biggest beneficiaries. And these kind of reforms will be turbo boosting our trajectory towards a Vikasit Bharat. So I want all the young people here who are here today to go back to your local districts, your mandals, your local communities, and just like this even have different gatherings in schools, universities, youth communities, hold as many events as possible, and reach out to every single youth across the state and convince them that one nation, one election is a proposal that is good for the country, that is good for our country's youth, and it can take our country forward a Vikasit Bharat. So this is my request to you, and just like what already some of the student leaders said, please make a plan to take it to the last level, and the success of this will depend on how we can convince everybody. I am already when the high level committee that was led by Sri Ramnath Kovindji, when he interacted with India's society, 87% of the respondents supported one nation, one election. So this is one of those proposals that has very high support among our country's population. I want all of you to I want all of you to become brand ambassadors of this program. Take it to the last level, take it to every student in the state and convince them and make every single person a supporter of one nation, one election. With that, I find my words. Thank you for your attention. Jai Hind.
Pledge on ONOE. Mrs. Manikara will be telling us pledge about ONOE. Bharat Mata ki. Bharat Mata ki. చిన్న సూచన గర్ల్స్ కి ఎక్కడ వచ్చినా కూడా మనం ఇట్లా బిజినెస్ అనుకుంటానే ఉంటామా? హలో గర్ల్స్, సో ఇక్కడ నేషనల్ నుంచి మనకు లీడర్స్ వచ్చారు. వాళ్ళు ఏదైతే మనకి ఇప్పటి వరకు మనకు చెప్పారో దాన్ని మనం ప్లెడ్జ్గా తీసుకున్నాం. ప్రతి ఒక్కరు చదువుతారు కదా. లెట్స్ డు. ఇది తెలుగులోనే చెప్తున్నాను నేను. చేయి ముందు పెట్టండి. ప్రమాణం చేస్తున్నాం మనం. హలో, వన్ నేషన్ వన్ ఎలక్షన్ ఫర్ నేషన్, మన దేశం కోసం మనం చేస్తున్న ప్రమాణం. మేము భారతదేశ విద్యార్థులం. ఒకే దేశం ఒకే ఎన్నికపై గౌరవనీయ ప్రధానమంత్రి శ్రీ నరేంద్ర మోడీ గారు ఆలోచనకు మద్దతు ఇవ్వడానికి ప్రతిజ్ఞ చేస్తున్నాము. మేము మాజీ రాష్ట్రపతి రామ్నాథ్ కోవింద్ జీ నేతృత్వంలోని ఉన్నత స్థాయి కమిటీ సిఫారసులను కూడా సమర్థిస్తున్నాము. ఒకే దేశం ఒకే ఎన్నిక రాష్ట్ర అసెంబ్లీ మరియు లోక్సభ ఎన్నికలను ఒకేసారి నిర్వర్తించడానికి లక్ష్యంగా పెట్టుకుంది. వికసిత్ భారత్ 2047 మైలురాయిగా పనిచేస్తుంది. తరచుగా ఎన్నికలు పాలన మరియు దేశ పురోగతిని అడ్డుకుంటున్నాయి. నాయకులు, పౌరులు, పార్టీ కార్యకర్తలు మరియు అధికారులను నిధుల నుండి మళ్లించడం ద్వారా సంక్షేమ కార్యక్రమాలను ఆలస్యం కావడం మరియు ప్రజా వనరులు వృధా అవుతున్నాయి. ఈ సంస్కరణ భారతదేశ ప్రజాస్వామ్యాన్ని సుగమం చేస్తుంది, దానిని మరింత సమర్థవంతంగా మరియు భాగస్వామ్యంగా చేస్తుంది. మేము ఈ సంకల్పాన్ని వాస్తవంగా మార్చడానికి జన సమూహ ఉద్యమాన్ని నడిపించడాన్ని ప్రతిజ్ఞ చేస్తున్నాము మరియు వికసిత్ భారత్ 2047 కలల సహకారానికి సహకరిస్తాము అని ప్రతిజ్ఞ చేస్తున్నాము. జై హింద్. మన జగర్జీ చెప్పారు, వీటన్నిటిని గ్రూప్ డిస్కషన్స్ రేపటి నుంచి పెట్టుకోవాలి మనం. థ్యాంక్ యూ.
Kindly sit down, kindly sit down. National anthem will be there for 5 minutes. Kindly sit down. We have to respect national anthem, 5 minutes only. Now, mementos will be given by Premendra ji and Marinita madam. Please come on to the dais, please. Premendra ji and Marinita madam. Madam, Premendra ji, Premendra garu, kindly come on the stage to give the mementos. Two minutes. National anthem will be there. Sitaramma garu, kindly come. Sanjay Rao garu, Bar Council member. Please come on to the stage, please. Sanjay Rao garu, Bar Council member. Please come on to the stage, please. Please come on to the stage. Judges, కూర్చోండి. Please kindly 2 minutes only. We have to respect జాతీయ గీతం ఆలపించిన తర్వాత మీరు డిస్కస్ కావచ్చు. National anthem, please. Good evening. Namaste Warangal. Good evening and distinguished guests of honor and keynote speakers, Yani Antony ji, Jafar Islam ji, our special guest, Lieutenant Colonel retired Vishapati Garu, Nakka Snehata Garu and Maradi Vijay Kumar Garu, and all our young students of Warangal present here today. On behalf of the organizing committee, I, Muralidhar Bala, deeply honored to deliver this vote of thanks for the Telangana students of One Nation and One Election. Today's event, a powerful platform to amplify the visionary call of our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji for One Nation, One Election, one of the most transformative reforms of the 21st century, has been a resounding success, This reform promises to strengthen our democratic framework, streamline governance, and propel India towards brighter future. We are immensely grateful to all who have contributed to making this gathering a meaningful step in this historic journey. First and foremost, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to our guests, keynote guests today, Sri Anil Antony ji, Jafar Islam ji, and Gautami ji, and all other distinguished guests, Colonel, Lieutenant Colonel Kishapati ji, Nakka Snehlalal ji, and Baradi Vijaykumar ji. This event would not have been possible without the relentless efforts of our organizing team and Hanumakunda district team, truly commendable to each organizer, volunteer, and team member who worked tirelessly behind the scenes, handling logistics, coordinating arrangements, and ensuring a seamless experience. Thank you from the bottom of our heart. Your hard work has brought this vision to life. As we conclude, let us carry forward the momentum of this gathering, advocating for one nation, one election with conviction and unity. Together, let us contribute to realizing this bold reform that will shape India's future for generations to come. Once again, thank you all